Hello Blizzard fans! This is FalconPaladin coming to you with yet another daily Blizzard upload. This is a game between TheAffluent and avilo on Terraform, the latter edition. Introducing the players, on the bottom right of Terraform, the latter edition, we have the red Protoss player, it is TheAffluent. And in the top left of Terraform, the latter edition, we have the blue Terran player, it is avilo. Now this was submitted to me at FalconPaladin@gmail.com. I put out a general request for PvT games, or Terran games in general, on my channel a few days ago. One of my subscribers was happy enough to oblige. This is a Masters level PvT, so this should be a pretty darn good game, and I'm really excited to cast it and bring it to you. Alright, so both players are pretty much just mining at this point. We actually do have a gateway coming up, standard stuff, as well as an assimilator. I have to assume if TheAffluent is going to go ahead and open up adepts. Adepts can be very, very good in the early game against Marines. They two-shot Marines. They can get the scouting off with a psionic transfer, but it looks like avilo is going to go ahead and wall off. That should prevent the scouting with the psionic transfer. Adepts are also terrible at killing buildings, and so walling off like this does a pretty good job against holding out against any early adept harass. If you try to take an early command center down here at your natural, it can hurt you as well, because the adepts can kind of slip in the backside here and start killing your SCVs, but we don't have to worry about that quite yet. The game is still in the early stages. The barracks not quite finished at the same time. The refinery timing, though, tells me we probably should see a Reaper expand. avilo might actually choose to be the one to get the harassment and the pressure on the Protoss player and then expand behind it. So here we are. And yes, indeed, a Reaper is on the way. We're fully walled off, although this supply depot's down. So a probe, if it wanted to scout, it definitely could. And look at this, a Nexus coming up for TheAffluent. Saying, you know what, I'm not going to wait for the Terran player to expand. I'm not even going to scout. I am basically going to go one gateway into an expand, into a cybernetics core. And if you try to stop me, avilo, we will see what happens. So a Marine coming out at the same time, probably going to go ahead and kill this probe. I'm going to try to find it, patrolling back and forth, and indeed, it is Marine versus Probe. Probe, some good micro from the Marine is going to kill it, indeed. The Probe is forced to retreat. It might skirt past a Marine if it was controlled by a lesser player, but this is Master's level, and that's not going to happen. The micro is going to be great. The Marine is going to get a kill if the Probe decides to continue, but the Probe decided not to. Bunker coming up at the front as well, just about finished for these Marines to hide in and do fun stuff. Where the heck did that Reaper go? Did the Reaper die or did it get cancelled? I'm not sure what happened. Mothership Core doesn't have a kill. Stalker doesn't have a kill. I think he cancelled that Reaper and actually made a Marine. For those that were watching the production tab, you can tell me in the comments, but I'm pretty sure that's what happened. Either way, the Nexus is up. We're chrono boosting away on this Nexus, getting that probe count up at the same time, and a robo facility being constructed by TheAffluent. Again, you need this against Terran. You gotta have those disruptors. You gotta have things like Colossus, maybe Storm is also a good choice at the same time. Are we gonna kill these rocks? No. Stalker says, you know what? I don't have enough time to kill these rocks. It's not gonna happen. Forward pylon in full view of that bunker. TheAffluent saying, hey, I'm gonna kill your stuff. Look at me go. Come out of this base with your Marines and try to do stuff. Yeah, that's exactly what's going on. He's trying to bait the Marines out of the base by throwing down two pylons. Oh, the forward pylon photon overcharge attack! Look at that! Throwing the pylons down and trying to get through the armor on this bunker. The SCVs are trying to repair through it. They can repair it, but double photon overcharge attack going directly after this bunker, losing so much mining time for avilo. Look at this go. I've never seen this before. This is kind of insane. I love this strategy from TheAffluent. They can't actually DPS the repairability. Again, double photon overcharge. avilo saying, lol, the Stalker is taking out individual SCVs, and a ruffle from avilo, rolling on the floor, laughing, delaying the command center. At the second base with these Stalkers, the Marines can't leave their bunker. The Mothership Core has enough for yet another photon overcharge. The Marines can't come out and kill this, because they can't kill the photon overcharge. The SCV is coming from the backside, trying to kill it more, or the Stalker is trying to kill more SCVs. They're repairing each other, but look at this. The DPS enough to kill one more, and a Banshee is out. All the SCVs are here trying to kill these Stalkers. An excellent position here from the Stalkers as well, getting out past the bunker. One does die, but one is still alive with one kill. Surprisingly, only one kill. I was not expecting to see that. Mothership Core can go two photon overcharges now. Are we going to do it is the question for Affluent. This front door is under siege right now for avilo. I mean, honestly, you can throw down 8 photon overcharges from a mothership core. It's only 25 energy. Oh, but the Cyclone is up using the lock-on ability. Cloak as well being researched for those Banshees. And I think the front door harassment is dead for the Affluent. He recognizes it, backs on out with that mothership core. And Banshee shot and lock-on ability again. And nope, just using the regular Typhoon missile pods. There's the lock-on ability. Look how much damage that does to everything. Cyclones are good, man. Cyclones are good. Is there only one Cyclone, though? One Cyclone on the field and one Banshee. No more in production for our Terran player. Usually if you see a Cyclone, you see like 10. But maybe not at this point. But either way, there's a cloaked Banshee heading right on out. I'm not sure if the Affluent knows that it's coming, but I think he suspects it. Do we have anything ready to deal with it is the question. And the answer is not really no. We don't have any observers. Do we have any observers on the field? Yeah, okay, we do have an observer. Where is it, though? Oh, it's with the army. And here comes the Banshee cloaked, going right after this mineral line. This juicy, juicy group of probes. 1, 2, 4 kills now on this Banshee. And nothing really to defend against this. Affluent is forced to retreat. Everybody is running away. The observer standing here like there's nothing going on. Chasing in circles. And yes, I believe we do have 2 observers now. We have 2 observers now. Where are they is the question. And there it is. The Stalker is going to try to give chase. Can we get it? No, because the observer didn't come along with. They couldn't see the Banshee for the final couple shots. And it will escape with its 8 kills. I think a couple of them are up here. But still, I think those were 6 probe kills. That's 44 to 36 harvesters. The Affluent is ahead. Again, having established the second base for as long as he has is very nice. Going ahead and producing photon cannons, I think, in each of his mineral lines. Indeed, he is. Researching, is that +1 ground weapons, +1 ground armor. Another, yep, more Cyclones in production. Actually, we're going mech. It looks like we are going mech. Ooh, the Banshee, no, gets a little bit greedy and does get taken down. The observer does come into position just in time. And we're moving out. We're moving through the rocks, through the Straits of Gibraltar here. And what are we going to do is the question. Can't really, just checking for a third base. It looks like, oh, Banshee, wrong space, wrong time. Stalkers are going to get you. Yep. Whew. The Affluent picking off Banshees like they're in hunting season or something. Open season on Banshees. Immortal here. Stalkers here. Taking tank shots, though. That's not good. Taking Cyclone shots is also not good. And here we come. Are the Cyclones going to try to do this? I don't know. Cyclone lock-on ability. Actually doing pretty good, a lot of damage to that Stalker, but doesn't manage to kill it. The Affluent wants to kill these supply depots that are on the front door, possibly hoping to supply block avilo, but another cloaked Banshee over here might actually prevent the construction of this third base. SCV patrolling to block that at the same time. Banshee coming on in, but a couple shots from the photon cannon. No, control it. Yes, controlling it now, finding a spot where it is safe. All the probes are forced to retreat. Stalker's coming up. Couple shots on the Banshee and it will die. Boop. It falls. Small pokes at the front here, but not really a whole lot going on here. 3 Banshees have died in this game and a Cyclone. Did we pick one off? Looks like we picked one off. Immortal says, you're not building a command center here. Boosh. Doing the same thing. Barrier. Is Barrier still an autocast? That's my question. Yep, Barrier's still in autocast. I'm not sure how Vampy feels about that, but he complained about it before. Was not changed in this latest patch. Either way, SCV is actually preventing the construction of this Nexus. Slowly warping in some Zealots to deal with this. At 16 seconds, because these pylons are not touching a Nexus or a gateway. Actually, Carbot figured something out here in one of his videos where a Nexus that is warping in actually provides the pylon that's touching it with that 2-second warp in ability. A gateway that is warping in does not provide the attached pylon that 2-second warp in. It's still 16 seconds. So I'm wondering if that's a bug or what. The consensus on the Reddit thread that I saw seemed to be that it was intentional. But I don't know. It kind of seems like it's a weird inconsistency in my opinion. Salvaging that bunker. And I think the Affluent is just trying to keep Avilo stuck in his base. There's that third base now up. Almost up. But guess what? Another cloaked Banshee for Avilo. Cloaked Banshee, man. Good. But guess what? Stalkers are here again. Stalkers are here. The detection range of photon cannons is a lot bigger than the actual attacking range ability. So the Stalkers here can use the detection ability of the photon cannon to kill the Banshee here, even though the cannon itself cannot kill the Banshee. Long distance mining, waiting for this Nexus to finish. The Affluent is really holding on to this game with basically with a death grip right now. Refuses to let Avilo leave his base. Avilo continuing to make, Liberators. Cyclones as well, but where are these Liberators being made? Here they are. Liberators with Defender mode can be good. Hallucinated Phoenix scouting things out, but nope, Missile Turret kills it before it gets too much information. And there's the Defender mode. Probe, run, probe. Oh, probe. As its body gets knocked outside of the circle and burns and then disappears. A scan up here just to see exactly what Avilo is dealing with. Avilo saying, rolling on the floor laughing. What are we throwing? A gateway at the front door. This is weird. Oh, for the quick warp-ins. All right. That makes sense. Going to try to push out as Avilo. Defender mode circles are everywhere. And I think everything here is going to die. The Affluent is forced to retreat. This is too much. This is too much DPS. Hellbats, Liberators with Defender mode as well as tanks. Is that another Banshee that died? 4 Banshees have died so far, indeed. The Affluent is super on top of this. Tanks are trying to snipe things out, but no, I think there are too many of them. They blink out of there. Still on fire. But again, having the third base up is very nice for Affluent. 122 to 125 total supply. Floating quite a bit of money right now, but producing 7 gateways to make up for that. Absolutely, that is the case. Getting +3 ground weapons as well as that +3 armor it is. +3, very, very nice for Protoss. Zealot checking for a third base, saying there is not one here. But I'm going to die for my scouting information. Is that going to happen is the question. He could probably block this. Yeah. No! Gets melted instead by the fire coming out of those Hellbats. Third base pretty much up and running right now for Avilo. So that's quick. That's the thing about Terran is you build the command center over here, float on in to the third base, and you're good to go. Big time attack over here, though. Defender mode, locking down on those Immortals. The Immortals running for their lives, getting out of that circle. Stalkers going after a Liberator. Can we kill it? A couple more shots. Yes, they do get a Liberator, but they all die, sacrificing themselves for ire. Another attack. What? Missile Turret has kill. Missile Turret has a kill. Is that a Warp Prism that tried to get over there? What's our lost tab look like? Yeah, Warp Prism is dead. I think we tried to see some special tactics from the Affluent, and it did not work out so well. So it's a bad game to be a flying unit in, I suppose. I do have Templar, though. I like Templar being used against those Hellbats and against these Liberators for the feedback. No, feedback's not going to work. They don't have energy. But actually, what are we doing? We're kind of just running underneath the Liberators. Storm coming up on top of things here. A lot of circles. Can we get out in time? We can, just barely. Nothing can shoot up, though, which is a problem. Liberators are in the air. None of the units that are currently underneath them can shoot up. And oh, man. No, run. Run, Immortal. Run, Templar. And they do. They get out. They get out. But the offensive Defender mode ability is definitely a thing. Stalkers trying to kill what they can, staying out of the range of that Defender mode. A tank on the other side of the wall getting shots off. And the Affluent is forced to retreat. And this is not a good spot at all for the Protoss player. Nexus being tried to be built here at the gold base. I don't know if that's going to happen at all because the army for Avilo is pretty much right outside, and they could go kill it at any time. But I don't know. Warp Prism is here. Dropping Zealots on top of tanks can be good if the tanks are in siege mode. But guess what? Liberators can attack air to air as well. So Liberators, we'll just get a quick look at them for those who haven't seen them before. Liberator missile launchers have 7 damage to attacks. And they do splash, so they're really good against mutas and other things that clump up like that. Are we trying to drop? We did drop the Zealots in here, but I don't think it accomplished much of anything at all. I don't think the tanks were in siege mode. Does Avilo know about this base? He somehow doesn't know about this base. He was right darn near next to it and doesn't know about it. We're getting air weapons for the Affluent. What on earth for? Production tab. I don't see any air units. I see a Warp Prism. I see a Mothership Core. Is that a misclick, or are we actually going to go air here? I think we might just be going air. So, Alright, we're mining from the gold, though, which is really nice for the Affluent, and a scouting Banshee. Another cloaked Banshee here. Oh, siege tank, bad rally. Does get killed by those Stalkers. Sad for him. Warping in a whole ton of Zealots with that +3/+3. If they can get in here, they could probably kill this orbital command pretty quickly. Getting that Banshee. Are we going to get it? No, it stays alive. The Zealots come right on in, going after everything, going after SCVs, forcing a retreat on all these SCVs. All these workers are forced to die, but guess what? Hellbats are here to save them. And the Zealots trying to burn down this orbital command very, very quickly, but they get distracted. A whole ton of mules come in as well. Defender mode popping up a little bit unnecessarily, I think, because all the Zealots are now dead. But we do have 13 SCVs who have died, 10 probes who have died. It's 59 to 53 Harvesters. The Affluent is up. Another attack here, going after this planetary fortress. Is there enough DPS with +3/+3 Zealots to actually kill it with the support of these Immortals. Defender modes everywhere. But the Planetary Fortress does fall, which the Affluent wanted to make happen there. Storms on top of all these Hellbats, melting them away. Look at that. Hellbats are down to the red. Most of them are. A few of them in the yellow, replacing this planetary with an orbital command. Another group of Zealots. If at first you don't succeed, try again. That is exactly what the Affluent says. There's a defender mode here, though. Missile turrets dying or catching on fire. The siege tank gets melted as well by the Zealots. That is something that has always happened. Oh, Stalkers coming in, taking advantage of the distraction, getting rid of that missile turret, getting rid of the Liberator at the same time. The entire army is here, but Zealots do not care. They are going after SCVs, ignoring everything that is killing them. This small strike force from the Affluent coming on up here at the same time, taking tank shots, going after the sensor tower. Defender mode blinking back. The Immortals do manage to get rid of that tank, and Storms on top of the Hellions. A few of them, oh, almost die there. The Immortals at the same time are dead. Zealots flying on in, actually getting rid of a couple of those Hellbats, and this base is completely under lockdown. The command center has been lifted. The Affluent playing this pretty darn well with this gold base. The income is looking really good. Avilo is down to 24 total harvesters. Defender mode on top of these Zealots. They back out just in time. Are we warping in Stalkers? Stalkers to deal with the Liberators. Can they find a sweet spot outside of the defender mode areas to actually kill these things? It's going to be difficult because look at that. Oh, here comes the carrier. And still building interceptors. I think we only have 4. Could probably build some more here if you wanted, but 4 interceptors is okay, especially if the AI goes after the interceptors instead. The Affluent calls out the offensive GG of Avilo with the idiot there as well. Refuses to leave. Oh, the Affluent with the I always knew Avilo was a fraud. Avilo very upset as well, saying you went blink immortal. The only reason I'm so far behind is because you are bad, says the Affluent. I have to blind counter Adepts at the start of the game. And that's it. Avilo rage quits. The Affluent also leaves the game after being victorious. And that's it for our TVP on Terraform, the latter edition. So pretty amazing stuff there. It's actually the Affluent who sent this game in. So thanks again for submitting it. You too can submit your high-level replays to FalconPaladin@gmail.com. And if they're great, if they get past my screener squeaks, then you too will see them on this channel. So I think Avilo has a point, if we're going to be honest. He did have to blind counter Adepts, which is not what the Affluent went. He went for the offensive photon overcharge on the pylons at the front door of Avilo, forced a lot of lost mining time, and I think that pretty much put Avilo on the back foot for the rest of the game. He never really caught up in worker count. I guess he did catch up in worker count, but not to the point that he wanted to be as the Terran player. And that was it. I mean, the Affluent made good use of Storms. He had carriers. He sent in multi-pronged attacks. He killed this while he was killing this. Kept Avilo on the back foot. Dodged defender mode. Used Stalkers to take out Liberators and take out Banshees. How many Banshees died in this game? Where are they? Up here. Units lost. 5 Banshees died in this game. 15 Liberators as well. That's a lot of Liberators to die. And that was it. So Protoss wins, especially with the upgrade advantage. If we look here, I don't think the Marine's going to have any upgrades, but do we have any? We do. So it's +2, +3. So the siege tanks are looking pretty good there. But in the end, Protoss won and Terran did not. And Protoss viewers should be happy about that. So this has been Falcon Paladin with yet another Daily Blizzard upload. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook, all at /FalconPaladin. And until next time, as always, you take care of yourself.